Sorry, y'all. Sorry. My phone is now on Do Not Disturb. So if I get any more phone calls, they'll just have to wait until I finish the live. And then I can address them. As long as my clients are straight, there shouldn't be any other disturbances. Sorry about that. I was saying that my phone is now on Do Not Disturb. So um, anything can wait until we get off the live. So this is the third time because I'm persistent, because I want you all to get the message, because I want to have a consistent message that I convey to you so you can utilize, hopefully. So what we were saying is that the bro or sis was saying that they use the strategy of answering a job more than once. And what I was saying is that, or what they said was, they weren't consistent. And that's where the loophole is. People say, oh, how can I have the same level of success as you do with it? And I say, don't have the same level of success as I do. Have a greater level of success than I do. And how that happens is with consistency. So if you don't have any consistency with your notary business, if you aren't using consistent strategies, then you won't have consistent results. Or actually, you will have consistent results of no business. And I'm just telling y'all, that's just one of the things. Like, there are certain areas in my businesses that I lack, like videos. I don't do videos as much as I want to, but I still have been able to attain almost 5,200 subscribers. So I'm so grateful for all of y'all for listening, for tuning in, and for being patient with me. But because I have so many other businesses, and throughout this process, I even started a farm. We have like over 100 animals. We don't consume animals, but we care for them. And so it is a lot. So videos aren't an area where I'm gonna be producing a lot of. So I try to produce one video a month. That's not enough for a lot of people, but this is what I got. And there will be some times where I'm able to produce a little bit more. But that's the first aspect, but there's a part 2 of that strategy. The second part of the strategy is, if you've said, maybe you've done it, maybe you have responded that you're available for the job more than 4 times, and they still didn't give you a call back, and the job is still coming out. They're still sending alerts for it. They're still increasing the fee. Sometimes they're looking for someone specific. Sometimes I don't know what the issue is. Sometimes it's the algorithm. Sometimes they have so many replies, it's difficult to see yours. That's why I said reply more than once. The part 2 to that strategy is to call them. Yeah, if you go and look at Blue Waters, if you go and look at any other of my videos, you'll see my contact information there, my email, but you can email me at divinenotary@cheerful.com. I appreciate that. It's funny you say that, because I do have, it's called The Ways of the World. I'll put it in the description box, but it's just about self-help. It's about self-help, about self-love, and we'll have aspects to help you be better at business too. And because I honestly feel like if you don't have the mindset for business, and I'm not talking about whether you know about marketing, whether you know about forms, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like deep inside, like the mind of it, the psychological aspect of it. You know, sometimes you hear people and they're like, well, I went to such and such restaurant and she was rude to me, or just simple things that people haven't picked up on that should be like basic one-on-one. It's literally in my, I have this contraption that goes on my rear view mirror. And somebody said, be careful with reading and driving. I have this contraption that goes on my rear view mirror. So as I look at my rear view mirror, it's right there. So it's not weird. So don't worry. And I'm really good at skimming anyway. So thank you though. I appreciate it. Yeah. So the worlds of the ways. I'll show you some of the travels that I like. As some of you know, I go back and forth to Africa every year. I didn't go back because of COVID, because I'm a business consultant there for a spa business. Some of you may or may not know, one of my trades is I am an esthetician, and so I go back and forth to assist a spa there that I am working on co-ownership of as well. So that's nice. But I often find it's not even that people don't have the experience, it's just the fact that it's, maybe somewhere in your past someone told you that business was too difficult, or maybe in the past someone told you that you couldn't start a business or you wouldn't be successful at a business. And so now here in your 40s and your 50s, you're trying to establish a business and you don't have the esteem to do it. You don't have the self-esteem to do it. You don't have the courage to do it. And you quit easily. You're easily discouraged. I get discouraged, don't get me wrong, y'all, but my discouragement comes from different areas. It's usually because I feel like there's so much to do, and I sometimes need assistance with things, and I pay people to do things for me, and it's never done the way I want it to get done. And my husband always tells me, like, don't pay them, just don't pay them. And I just be like, I can't do that. Like, I have to pay them. I just won't use them again, but I'll pay them just to get them out my face. And so that's what the other channel will basically be about, and in hopes to help people with the mindset before they start a business. Because you have to. There are people who aren't always happy with some aspects of me. I've had, like, in this time frame, I think I've had the school for like 4 years. I've had 2 clients that I had to let go of because just the energy is not in alignment. Some people think because you pay them that you have to do what they tell you to do, or you have to just be available in the way that they want you to be available, and that's not the case. So I will refund you in a heartbeat, okay? Because I don't want you to ever think, well, she took my money, or but I'm grateful. Only 2 out of all the people that I work with, only 2 in 4 years. And for me, that was a lot. The first one was a lot. It kind of hurt my feelings, but I had to put that aside and I had to focus on the business. Did I do everything that I could have in my power to support and assist that person? Yes? Okay, cool. Then you move on. But that second aspect of that strategy is just so important. Like, call them. You call them, right? After you send out alerts, you call. And you call, you say, hi, I'm Alexis of Divine Notary. I noticed that you sent out an alert to do a job in Greenbackville, Maryland, and at 1 o'clock, and you sent the alert out for 1:50. I'd be happy to help you with that. I'm an experienced notary. I've done X amount of signings. If you haven't done any signings, you can skip that part. You can just say, I'm knowledgeable, right? I'm knowledgeable. If you've studied, you've watched videos, you've taken courses, you're knowledgeable. You don't have to tell them, I don't have X amount of signings. How many times did you practice a loan signing? Well, you experience now. So just do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. The closing that I'm going to now, I wasn't even gonna do it because when I'm at my other house, I don't really focus that much on closings, but I did say that I want to start focusing a little more just so I can have X amount a month of closings. And but this signing is $500 for one closing. When you travel 2 hours for $500, like, yeah. Will I do it all the time? No, but they literally could not find anyone. Yeah, I'll go if you give me $5. And she was like, hold on one second. And I thought she was like, usually they're like, well, let me call you back if we can get that. But she was like, hold on 1 second. She's like, oh yeah, we give that to you. And I was just like, why'd I say that? I really didn't. It's not my day to do closings. But either way, it just made sense. You know, I just think about it. $500. What does that take care of? That can take care of a lot of different things. But it wasn't really what I wanted to do this afternoon, evening. But it doesn't matter. Now this company will understand that if they have signings where they can't find anyone, guess what they're going to call? They're going to call me for them. And so you just have to keep that in mind. Sometimes you have to inconvenience yourself to be comfortable later. So once you call them and you let them know that you're available, then the ball is in their court. Okay? Sometimes it will work for you. Sometimes it may not work for you. But your odds will start to add up in your favor. Keep that in mind. Your odds will start to add up in your favor. In your favor. All these little quirky things that you have to do, and then they'll start calling you for direct business. Now, that was a direct call. I didn't get that from SnapDocs or anything. That was a direct call. She got my information from a directory, from a signing directory. So you have to put yourself out there. I get a lot of calls, and sometimes I deny. If I'm on this side, if I'm at the farm, then I'm not really trying to do signings. But now that the animals are kind of situated, the children are situated, everybody's virtual school, then I have a little bit of leeway now where it's okay if I have to leave for a couple of hours and then just come back. But yeah, those two strategies, they really do work, y'all. Remember, it's about consistently doing that. You consistently make sure you respond multiple times. You make sure you email them, call them, and let them know that you are available, and just keep at it. That's the best thing that I can tell y'all. If y'all have any specific questions, you can definitely reach out to me. You know, I have the school, Notary Wellness Mentor online school. You can take classes there. I'm working on adding new courses. As you all ask me for different things, I make an attempt to create the course from there. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's not as easy, but I still do the best that I can. Also think about you all finding other notaries that can assist you in other areas that you may not be able to go in. Because I am commissioned in multiple states, that's something that you also need to consider. If you're not someone who, you only have one commission, that's great, but you want to strive to get multiple commissions. So figure it out by hook or by crook. Not by hook, but you know what I'm saying. Figure it out. Like, you know someone in that area that they can let you use your address. Look, man, listen, okay? So I'm commissioned in a couple of states, and it works out for me. Where I am, you have to travel. I don't live in an inner city, and maybe that's why I do get paid more for stuff than someone who lives in an inner city. But it works for me, and you're more likely to get more jobs naturally, the law of numbers, because you live in multiple states, or you have multiple commissions. So that works out well. If you get a job excuse me, in another area that if you get a job in another area that you're not able to attend to, and you want to hire and give it to somebody else, then you could do that too. It depends how you're set up in SnapDocs. If you're through SnapDocs, right? If you're through yourself, you can always hire someone. Like if a job calls you specifically, me, Divine Notary, and says, hey, are you interested in doing a job in such and such, and you're booked that day, you can call, you can tell them, because you're signed up as it's your own business, that yeah, you have a notary that's available to do that. Sometimes they want to know the notary's name. That's fine. You just have to figure that part out, put them on hold, or tell them you'll give them a call back when you're exactly sure which notary will be able to help you out that day. But even through SnapDocs, you can sign up to SnapDocs at two ways, as an individual or as a business. When you're signed up as a business, it's already implied that you have multiple workers. So they will know that it could be you or it can be another notary. But sometimes that does need to be worked out in advance, because you know how sometimes the paperwork is already it's already filled out. So you need to make sure that aspect. But I've done that. The only reason why that I didn't farm out this job is because no one wanted to go there. No one wanted to go there. No one. I never. My main home is 25 minutes away from this closing, but I never even heard of it. It's a very, very small town, and it worked out because she wants to meet on the main highway anyway at a diner. So I don't even have to go to this small town, wherever it is. So just keep those things in mind. If anybody has any questions, you can put them in the chat before we go. Or you can always reach out to me, divinenotary@cheerful.com. All my information will be in the description box, as you know. And I'm always available. Like, I be trying to help y'all make money. I'm not worried about any other drama or issues. I literally am trying to help y'all make money. I'm trying to help y'all make money. My cousin was interested in doing this, and she said that she was online and then saw me. I'm not sure if she knew if I had a channel prior, but she was like, I was just going through, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's my cousin. And her husband was like, no, it ain't, and she was like, yes, it is, that's my cousin. So anybody that I can share the information with, I share it with. And if you want to do it, then do it. A friend of mine, I was sharing it for her husband, and she just recently told me her daughter is doing it now. Her daughter is 19. And so it's just like, and she got 3 signings in one day on her first go out. And I was just like, girl, I said, how'd you get that? She said, through SnapDocs. And I was like, wow. One thing I want to find out is if she has her picture on there, because if she has her picture on there, I have some notions of why it worked out for her. But you just never know, y'all. You just have to stay committed to the process. And if things aren't working out for you and you're doing all the things that you feel like you need to, like, I won't go down the list, but if you feel like you have been doing all those things and you're still not getting a job, I would just do an audit, right? I would like go back to my videos or have a session with me and do an audit on yourself. Like, do I have my Google business listings? How many signing directories am I on? If anyone has been listening to me for a while, I have a number, right? I have a number of how many signing agents one should sign up to in order to be successful. And it's 50. If you haven't signed up to 50 companies, I get why you haven't been able to get the jobs that you need to get. Yeah. Signing up with multiple commissions, SnapDocs is prepared for that. So when you get multiple commissions, all you have to do is just add it. Just add it. And add the insurance, add whatever they are requiring, but it's set up to get multiple commissions, and it's just a really easy process to do. And I know it just seems like a lot of work, but it's on the front end. Okay, it's on the front end. This is all front end work, and once you get it going, you really don't have to go back to a lot of these things because it's already worked out for you. You just pretty much have to tweak it here and there if you aren't getting any results. You aren't getting any results. When you're getting results, you really don't have to go back to it too much unless you want to get to another level. Like when I first started, I profited in the first month, but then I was like, there was some downtime, and I was like, oh man, and then it got busy again. And then it got busier and busier and busier and busier. And through COVID, I've peaked. I'm not at my highest peak, but I've hit a plateau that I didn't before COVID. So I can't say that I'm grateful for it, but it's definitely produced some big results for me because of COVID. And so I'm grateful. But I wish you all the very best. I'm always here. I'm going to strive to do more videos this week. And I will put my other channel in, The Ways of the World. I think I do have a couple of videos up there, but I haven't shared it with anyone or told anyone about it. But it just basically shows a little bit of things. The signing agent companies, yes. Actually, my cousin wanted to know the different companies that she can apply to, and so I made a list of 50 to her because 50 is a number to me. I made a list of 50 for her. I gave her company names, and then she went ahead and put them in an Excel sheet. And she is been calling them. You call them, you email them, you have a marketing strategy for them, a packet, and within that packet is like an introduction letter, a digital business card, and a list of services and a range of prices, right? So you have a range. I say have a range because you don't ever want to say I charge $150 for a signing, because what if you get a signing that's 250 pages and that's a million miles away, right? Well, every company list is different. So there's a million companies out there. So you don't have the same list as I have because there's tons of companies out there. There might be some similarities on there. I created that list from the people that I've worked with over the last 4 years. So every list is different. But if you do have a list, then you create that media kit with your personal information. You basically building up a brand. You're building up the excitement of what said you would put us in our database, and then you just keep going from there. And you call and then you call them and you let them know that you're available to do signings in particular zip codes. If you don't already have the zip codes that you're willing to travel, just take some time and put the zip codes in like somewhere where you could reach out to them, because companies will. That's a question that they ask all the time. Like, what zip codes will you travel to? So once you know the zip codes, let me get out this way while I finish talking to y'all. While you put out put the zip codes out, and then you can copy and paste them and put them somewhere else in a file, and copy and paste them into the website's name, or pardon me, into the portal's name that you want to work with. But yeah, that's basically all you do. You just cold call. Like, a lot of people don't feel comfortable with cold calling because of how it makes them feel. But you have to put your emotions, your negative emotions aside, because they don't help you eat. Your negative emotions don't help you eat. Your negative emotions don't help you sleep. Your negative emotions only make things worse for you. So transform that negative emotion into something positive, and call the companies and let them know that you're available, and eventually your consistency will get you money, will get you the lifestyle that you feel is necessary, that you want to have in this lifetime. When I first started, my first year, I made an additional $14,000 on just whatever I was doing on a part-time basis. Like, I barely worked and made $14,000. So, and there are people where they struggle to do that, and that's nothing now. Like, to be clear, that is nothing in regards to what I'm getting now. Nothing. But for my first year, it was a good start. It was a good start, considering that I'm not in a metropolitan area, and it brought me an additional income that I was really looking for. And it just worked. And I was on a part-time basis. So cold calling these companies will help. You just have to be consistent. Even if you have to put it on your calendar on your phone, tell Siri to remind you on every 16th of the month, call them back and let them know that you're available. Eventually these people will know. Send them holiday cards if you have to. Send them gift cards for Starbucks or something like that, just to say thank you for your business, or send them donuts in the morning. Whatever you have to do, you just have to be really creative. If you make something, some of you may or may not know, if you don't know, divinenaturalproducts.com, I have an online store. Some products I make, but I sell natural products. Like, I make soaps from scratch. I make liquid soaps. I make beautiful baskets. If I wanted to, if I cared enough, if I felt like my business was struggling, I would send a gift basket that would accommodate the whole office I would send them one. I would send small travel size soaps that they could utilize. So you just have to think out the box when you do these things, and it can't be an afterthought. You know what I'm saying? It can't be an afterthought. It's not something like you're like, oh, maybe I'll do this, or, you know, when you get super desperate, then you do it. Like, do it while you're high. Do it while you're on a roll. Do it while you feel motivated, and just send it out. Send it out. Send whatever you got to do, whatever you. Now, sometimes people say, now I've had calls from people who, like, they're down and out. Like, I've had people book a call with me and they were on their last dollar. They gave me their last money. And I still try to support them through the process. And sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I am a tax preparer too. Yeah. And I'm at a crossroads, y'all, because I have so many things going on. Usually this is my tax season. Due to COVID, I am not going into the office to do taxes. So I just don't want to be honest with you. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not going to. So I'm working on doing something different, but still being able to do taxes this season and expanding business in that realm. And what state are you in? Blue Waters, what state are you in? There's just there's so much money out here, y'all. You just have to figure out how can you get it. I read this, there was this sister, I can't think of her name, Kirsten, can't think of her husband's name, Kirsten and her husband are millionaires, and okay, cool, New Jersey. Kirsten and her husband are millionaires, and they want to make 100 couples millionaires. And I was just so inspired by that. They don't really have it set up in a way where it's suitable for me and my partner, but I was just thinking, just imagine if you can get together, whether it's a couple or single mom. Prior to being in a relationship, I was single, right? So I geared a lot of my teachings to single mothers, because I know how it was to like be a single mother, married for so many years, be a single mother, and now, not getting support, but you still need to feed your family, and you don't want to live in poverty, right? And although you can live in poverty and still be happy, but it just doesn't allow you to do certain things. So want to figure out just how can we help. This was my way of helping people get more money, by providing services, by providing free information to you all, so you can increase your money. And I know it's just hard for some people, and I get it, but I say, how could it be easier? What could we do? Peace, cuz what could we do to make it an easier process so you can get money? Like my cousin just started and got her first job. It took a couple of weeks, but she got it. Now she has a list that she can go through and hopefully attain some new jobs, right? And that's what it's about. You just have to stay consistent about it. You have to be consistent about doing your business every day. Now, sometimes people say, oh, well, I have a full-time job. Well, you either work to, don't hate me, y'all. You either work to pay for somebody else's dream, somebody else's children's college, or your own. You just have to figure it out. So every single day, you should be feeding into yourself. Every single day, even if it's just an hour a day. Feed into yourself. Oftentimes, people go and get jobs and they work all day, and then they say they're what? Tired. They're too tired to work for themselves. And that always, it kind of angers me. And I remember when I was at that point in my life where I would go to work for other people, but I constantly talked about my dreams. I constantly talked about my dreams, talked about it to other people. And sometimes people say don't do that, but that's what helped it keep it alive for me, because I'm an esthetician. And when I graduated years ago, to have a full product line was part of my journey. So people who I felt that could help me manifest those dreams, I talked about it to them. And now I'm like, all right, now I got a few products out, right? It took me a little longer than I wanted to, but I do, and it only get better. So you have to consistently work on your dream, talk about your dream, write about your dream, experience your dream, manifest your dream, see how it feels to visualize your dream, sit in that car, go test that car, go sit in that Mercedes on that lot, go let them see if they'll let you test drive it, whatever it is. Like if you want to go to Jamaica, go to Party City and just, go and get whatever you need. Go get some palm trees, go get some sand. Just put yourself in that mind state. Go to the water, visualize yourself. And and just whatever is necessary. Well, that's cool. The way I was doing taxes is through a company, and they don't allow you to do it in that way. And the reason why I decided to work for a company, it was because I was new to the area and I really didn't know anyone. And so you know how it is when you're new to an area, you really don't know anyone. It's harder to start a business where you need business from the public, right? Business from the public. And hello, can I help you with skin issues? Sure, reach out to me. And then my website is divinenaturalproducts.com. I have been having more questions about skin. And sis, what I will say to you first is, if you're not interested in changing your diet, I would not be the right person to talk to you about. Skin issues come from within. So if you're not interested in changing your diet, I would not be able to help you. If you're interested in changing your diet or changing some aspects of your lifestyle, then I will be able to help you. If you don't like water, if you don't like healthy things, I would not be able to I'm not the right person for you. Yeah, it's true. I just try to tell people up, because I can't help you. Like, somebody called me the other day, and then I gotta go, y'all. Somebody called me the other day and they told me that they had hypertension and high cholesterol, and they know how I am, and they said that they wanted me. Some of you know that when I first moved here, I had a juice bar, but I just opened in the wrong area. Location, right? And I opened it in the wrong area because we just were trying. Me and my mother, we were just trying. And so it ended up closing. Long story short, so they knew that I could make smoothies and juices. And so he had me make juices. So I made 50 juices and smoothies for him. And taste was an issue. If you're somebody who's used to getting like smoothies from, like, who sells smoothies? Dunkin' Donuts. It's like fruits. It's a derivative, okay? Fruit derivative. They're not 100% natural. And so when you have a natural smoothie, it could taste vastly different to you. And so it's not that appealing. I did not grow up like Tropical Cafe. I've had their smoothies, and it just does not taste like real smoothies to me. I see it's like a powder that they utilize, but I would have to see the ingredients to it, because I'm wondering why it tastes like that. Because it just doesn't taste right to me. Either way, I did not grow up like that, right? And so my brother would say to me, how did I change my taste buds? Because I changed my mind first. If you're not willing to change your mind, and that goes for business too, if you're not willing to change your mind, how can you change your palate, right? Because people think digestion starts in the mouth, but digestion starts in the mind. So you have to keep that in mind. It goes the same way with business. It's not different. Some people like to separate these things. It's not separate. Everything starts in the mind. Like, no matter what category in life that you're working with, it starts in the mind. So if you're not willing to budge on your mind, willing to have a new perspective on something, it's just not going to work. You can email me at Alexis A. Carter, Carter 2009 at gmail.com. Alexis A. Carter 2009 at gmail.com, and put in skin issues, just so I can identify identify you, and then we can just work something out. But scan is always, it's always a process, but I'm willing to help anybody who's willing to help themselves, like, so that's fine. But I'll try to come back on tomorrow, y'all. This weekend I should be able to do a couple more videos, and we'll get some stuff done. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all time so much. I know this is the third time is the charm, as they say, and they ain't lying. So I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll catch you on the next go round. Peace and love.